Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. Today, we are going to be looking at some really cool stuff
Yeah.
in the world of open educational resources.
Yes.
And we have some sources today from Open Educational Resources, Open Source Physics at Singapore.
Okay.
And we're going to be focusing on a project
Okay.
that really stood out to me as I was looking at this.
Okay.
It is an innovative DC motor demonstration kit
Oh, wow.
that was developed in Singapore.
Cool.
And it was so good
Mm-hmm.
that it won a Ministry of Education Gold Energy Award
Wow.
in 2017.
That's impressive.
It is. And the Energy Awards they're not just given
Yeah.
out to anybody.
I would imagine not.
There's like a shortlisting and then presentations and the whole thing.
Yeah, like a whole process.
It's a big deal. So to win Goldie for this
Yeah,
is really saying something.
absolutely.
And, this isn't just a theoretical project.
Right.
They actually created these kits
Mm-hmm.
and get to meet some of the people behind it,
Well-
including somebody from the Science Center.
That's pretty cool.
It is.
Yeah.
And there's a digital side to it, too.
Oh, okay.
They've got an Android and an iOS app.
Wow.
So this is some really interesting blended learning going on here
Yeah, sounds like
to teach people about DC motors.
very cool.
So, I think this is going to be a fun deep dive.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear more about it.
So let's jump in. So we talked about the award a little bit.
Okay.
The Ministry of Education Energy Award.
Right.
And like I said, it recognizes innovation in education
Mm-hmm.
that benefits stakeholders.
Okay.
So it's got to be good, and it's got to be
Right.
beneficial to lots of different people.
You can't just be like a cool idea.
Right.
It has to actually have like real world application.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, the selection process is very competitive.
Right.
It's not easy to win Goldie.
So what is it about this particular DC motor kit that made it stand out?
Well, let's meet the team first.
Okay.
So we've got 5 individuals named as contributors.
Okay.
We've got Lu Wanyong,
Okay.
Lim Soo Ki,
Okay.
Teo Chi Kion,
All right.
Po Kun Meng,
Got it.
and Justin Lee.
Okay, so a team of 5.
Yeah. And I just want to point out that Justin Lee's from the Science Center.
Oh, wow. So that's where that connection comes in.
Exactly.
Cool.
And the source material actually gives us a link to the Android and iOS app
Oh,
if you want to check it out.
okay.
It's at Open Source Physics at Singapore.
Mm-hmm.
Website https://sg.iwanttostudy.org.
Okay.
Sys PSG index.php408 email.
Okay. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So tell me more about this kit. What makes it so innovative?
Well, so they mention this CoRe approach, but they don't really define it.
Interesting.
So I don't know if CoRe is an acronym or what.
Yeah, what could that stand for?
Yeah.
Like, what were they trying to achieve with this kit that was so unique?
I don't know, but they're making us work for it.
Well, I guess that's part of the fun, right?
I guess so.
Figuring out the mystery.
So thinking about innovative teaching methods,
Right.
what comes to mind?
Well, collaboration is always a big one.
Right.
Especially these days.
Yeah.
And, using research-based approaches to learning.
Evidence-based.
Yeah, exactly. Making sure that what you're doing is actually effective.
Right.
And then focusing on real-world applications,
Mm.
making sure that students can see how what they're learning is relevant to their lives.
So maybe CoRe stands for
I don't know. Let's see.
collaborative research and real
Oh,
world.
that's a good one.
Collaborative research, real world.
CoRe.
Yeah, I like that.
Got a nice ring to it.
It does.
So, before we get too far down the rabbit hole of CoRe,
Okay.
let's just talk about DC motors for a sec,
Okay, yeah.
just so everybody's on the same page.
Good idea. So
So,
remind me how those work again.
well, on a very basic level,
Yeah. Mhm.
a DC motor converts electrical energy into mechanical energy.
So you send a direct current through it,
Right.
and that creates rotational motion.
Okay, so it makes things spin.
Yeah, basically.
Cool.
And DC motors, they're everywhere.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You've got them in your fans,
Yeah.
your blenders,
Mm-hmm.
electric vehicles, industrial machinery.
Power tools, all sorts of things.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible how widespread they are,
Yeah, for such a simple concept, they have a lot of applications.
right? And there are even different types of DC motors,
Oh, really?
like brushed and brushless.
Okay.
And each one has its own advantages and disadvantages.
Interesting.
Cost efficiency, controllability.
So it's not just like a one-size-fits-all kind of thing.
No, not at all. So, thinking about all that,
Yeah.
this is where this kit becomes so valuable.
Okay, why is that?
Because it's one thing to read about it in a textbook,
Right.
but it's a whole other level of understanding
Hmm.
when you can actually see it in action.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Right.
Like hands-on experience.
Let's go.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And that's really the power of open educational resources.
Okay.
By making this kit freely accessible.
Right.
This team is empowering educators all over the world to create these hands-on learning experiences
That's really cool.
for their students.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
It's pretty amazing.
It is.
And the Open Source Physics at Singapore website
Okay.
is a perfect example of this.
So what's on the website?
Oh, man, it's a treasure trove of resources,
Wow.
like all kinds of physics topics,
Okay.
and it's all freely available,
That's fantastic.
like anybody with an internet connection.
So it's not just for educators then.
No,
Anyone can use it.
anybody can access it.
That's really cool.
It is.
I love that.
And they've got this list of popular tags at the bottom.
Oh, yeah. What are some of them?
Let me see.
Okay.
You've got everything from kinematics
Okay.
and sound
Mm-hmm.
to electromagnetism
Yeah.
and even fractions.
Fractions?
Yeah.
What are fractions doing in there?
I don't know, but they're there.
Huh. Well, I guess physics is everywhere,
I
right?
guess so.
So this website, it's not just static content then.
No, they've got interactive simulations.
Oh, wow.
They've got virtual labs.
Well, that's neat.
And then tools like this DT motor kit.
So it's really about making learning more engaging and hands-on.
That's what it seems like.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
So we've got this incredible award-winning DC motor kit
Mhm.
that seems to embody this mysterious
Right.
core
Approach, yeah.
And it's making waves in the world of open educational resources.
Really?
But what I'm really curious about is how does this kit actually translate
Yeah.
into a real-world learning experience?
That's the big question.
It is.
How do you take this cool kit and actually use it to teach people about DC motors?
Exactly.
All right, well, let's find out.
I'm picturing like a classroom, buzzing with activity.
Yeah.
Students huddled around these kits,
Right.
tinkering away, seeing whose motor can spin the fastest.
Oh, yeah, a little competition.
Yeah,
That always gets people motivated.
it does. And, they're adjusting the voltage,
Hmm.
seeing the speed change.
Right.
And suddenly it's not just equations on a page anymore.
It's real.
It's real.
Yeah, you can see it happening.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And then you've got the app,
Right.
which I'm guessing has simulations
Oh, that would be cool.
and maybe even like challenges and stuff.
Yeah, like little quizzes or something
Yeah.
to test your knowledge.
So they have to really apply what they've learned.
Yeah, that's a good way to reinforce the concepts.
It is.
Make sure it sticks.
So it's not just a rigid lesson plan.
Right.
It's a launch pad
Oh, I like that.
for educators to get creative.
Yeah, give them the tools and let them run with it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's cool.
But, it's easy to go caught up in the technical details.
Yeah.
What really matters is the impact.
Okay.
So did this kit,
Mm-hmm.
spark a passion
Right.
for engineering
Mm-hmm.
in students who might never have considered it before?
That's the hope, right?
It is.
You introduce them to something cool and maybe it sparks something in them.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love that.
And that's where the true legacy of this project lies.
Okay.
It's not just about the award.
Right.
It's about the ripple effect
The ripple
that
effect.
it creates.
Okay, explain that.
Well, by making this kit an open educational resource,
Mm-hmm.
they've empowered countless others
Right.
to adapt it
Yeah.
and use it in their own classrooms.
So it's not just limited to Singapore?
No.
It can be used anywhere.
That's the potential of OERs.
Yeah.
They can scale impact
That's huge.
far beyond the original creators.
Yeah. That's really cool.
I'm curious about the CoRe approach
Yeah.
again.
Okay.
We've speculated about what it might stand for,
Right?
but I wonder if there are any clues
Okay.
in the broader context
Mhm.
of Singapore's education system.
Interesting point. Yeah. Singapore has been known to emphasize hands-on learning.
They have.
Yeah, in their STEM education initiatives.
Huh.
So maybe CoRe is reflecting that,
Okay.
like a pedagogical approach that aligns with those priorities.
So CoRe could be like
Yeah.
collaborative research and
Mhm.
experience-driven.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, tying it back to those real-world applications.
Exactly.
I like it.
And if they're encouraging students to collaborate,
Right.
experiment,
Yeah.
apply their knowledge to real-world problems,
Mhm.
it's no wonder this project
Uh-huh.
was recognized with the Gold Innergy Award.
It's like they hit all the check marks.
They did?
For what makes good STEM education.
Yeah. It's a reminder that innovation in education
Okay.
isn't always about
Right.
flashy technology.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's about simple,
Yeah.
well-designed tools
Right.
that empower students to learn by doing.
Exactly. It's not about the bells and whistles.
Right.
It's about the learning experience itself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Speaking of doing,
Okay.
I'm wondering if there are any resources out there
Yeah.
that delve into the actual learning activities used with this DC motor kit.
Okay.
It would be fascinating to see how educators
Yeah.
have integrated it into their lesson plans.
I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the source material doesn't really give us any specifics.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah. But we can make some educated guesses.
Okay, let's hear those educated guesses.
All right. So imagine students are presented with a challenge.
Okay.
Maybe they need to design a fan
Okay.
that can cool a specific area.
Right.
Or maybe they're tasked with building a small vehicle
Okay.
that can travel a certain distance.
So like a little car or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And the kit provides them with the basic components
Oh, yeah.
and the knowledge to get started.
But they need to figure out the specifics on their own.
Exactly. They're not just following instructions. They're problem solving,
Mm.
experimenting, iterating their designs
Right.
based on what they observe.
Oh, and I bet the app comes in handy here,
Well, for sure.
like providing additional information, simulations,
Yeah.
maybe even a platform
Oh,
for students to share their designs
that's a great idea.
and results with each other.
Yeah, like a little online community
Yeah.
where they can collaborate and learn from each other.
So it sounds like a really dynamic learning environment.
It does.
Students are engaged,
Yeah.
they're collaborating, and they're developing a deep understanding of the underlying principles.
And most importantly,
Yes,
they're having fun while they're learning.
that's key.
It is. When you can tap into that intrinsic motivation,
Right.
the possibilities are endless.
You know, this deep dive has really highlighted the power of sharing knowledge of resources.
Absolutely.
Imagine if every
Right.
groundbreaking educational tool was shared as openly and freely as this DC motor kit.
That would be amazing.
It would.
Yeah, the world would be a much better place.
It would. It's an inspiring thought.
It is.
We often think of innovation as something that happens in isolation.
Yeah, like a lone genius working in their lab.
Right.
But it's not always like that.
It's not.
No collaboration and sharing are essential for progress.
Especially in education.
Absolutely.
And the open source physics at Singapore website is a testament to that collaborative spirit.
I love that.
It's more than just a repository of resources.
Yeah.
It's a community of educators, researchers, and enthusiasts
It's amazing.
dedicated to making physics education
Right.
accessible and engaging for everyone.
That's what it's
It makes me wonder what other hidden gems are out there
Yeah.
just waiting to be discovered and shared.
So many possibilities.
I know. That's what I love about these deep dives.
Oh, yeah.
We started with a simple DC motor kit
Uh-huh.
and ended up exploring the very nature
Yeah.
of innovation and collaboration
It's all connected.
and education.
It is.
And the journey doesn't end here.
Oh, no.
I would encourage our listener
Yeah.
to explore the
Yeah.
open source physics at Singapore website for themselves.
Yeah, go check it out.
Who knows what might spark their own
Yeah.
curiosity or inspire them to create something amazing?
It's a great resource.
It is. I know. I'm adding it to
Yeah.
my list of must-reads.
Nice.
I'm especially intrigued
Yeah.
by those popular tags
Right?
we mentioned earlier.
Refraction.
Yeah, the fractions.
What's up with that?
I don't know, but I'm going to find out.
All right, let me know.
There's a whole world of knowledge
Yeah.
just waiting to be explored.
I love it.
So what stands out to you from this deep dive?
That's a good question.
You know, for me, it's that reminder that learning can be fun. Like it shouldn't feel like a chore,
Right.
you know? And this kit, it's all about hands-on exploration, figuring things out for yourself.
Yeah.
And yeah, maybe even a little friendly competition.
That's a good point. When learning becomes enjoyable,
Right.
when it sparks that intrinsic motivation to understand and explore, that's when it truly becomes powerful.
And this DC motor kit, it's just one example of what's possible when we embrace open educational resources.
Exactly. It represents a shift in how we think about education and knowledge sharing.
Right.
It's about making quality learning experiences accessible to everyone, regardless of location or resources.
It really makes you wonder what other incredible tools and resources are out there just waiting to be discovered.
That's the beauty of the OER movement. It's constantly evolving and expanding. And platforms like open source physics at Singapore are playing a vital role in connecting educators, learners, and innovators.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one big takeaway you want our listener to walk away with?
The power of openness and collaboration. This DC motor kit wouldn't exist without the willingness of its creators to share their knowledge and expertise with the world. And in turn, countless others are now benefiting from their generosity.
And that's a challenge to all of us. If you come across a resource or a tool that has made a difference in your learning journey, consider sharing it with others. You
Absolutely.
never know who might benefit from your contribution.
It's about creating a ripple effect of knowledge and inspiration. And that's what truly transformative education is all about.
Well said. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of open educational resources and the incredible DC motor kit that's making a difference in Singapore and beyond. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep sharing.